Brian with Premier. I'm out at the Bedford High School doing an estimate. And I was like, I'm going to make a video. And I'm like, I'm not going to make a video. You know, today I'm running around, I had a college to go to. I'm in a high school now. And, if you are a maintenance or a facilities person and you need, court work done at your premise, whatever you got at school, a hotel, a country club, you guys, the devil is in the details. Like, you really have no idea, what you're getting yourself involved in, until 2 years after the courts have been done. Sorry about that. I got a little sinus thing going on. Let me show you what I'm talking about, okay? So at one point or another, somebody came out and did crack repair on these courts. At some point, these guys said, hey, so-and-so, we need cracks filled on our tennis court. So-and-so said, yep, I can help you. So-and-so showed up, and this is what so-and-so did. Now, I want you to look at this, all right? Now, this is just the putty style filler, which you cannot use on cracks this big. So right away shows me whoever did it had no fucking clue what they were doing. So you can't use that type of material on cracks this big. Those are for very, very fine hairline cracks. Stuff like this. Okay? But what fascinates me in this, they picked the cheapest, the quickest method of filling these cracks, right? And then they took the meticulous time to tape it all off with masking tape. Look at these edges. You do not get edges like that using that type of material without taping it off. Do you know how much time it would have taken to tape off all these cracks? Now look, it looks like they got this done, and then they said, the hell with this. This is taking too long, because once you start getting over into here, it's like they abandoned that whole idea. All right. So the time that they should have taken to do it right with patch binder or something, and then even coloring it in later, but cracks this big, at the least, if you're not using a membrane repair, have to be done with a patch binder. So when you're hiring somebody, whether you're building we're getting all these pickleball facilities that are starting to come up, and it's like after Hurricane Katrina or after a natural disaster, all of a sudden there's all these companies that pop up out of nowhere that can help you with your problem. And the same is in the pickleball industry right now. There are so many places that are just getting thrown up that all of a sudden there's all these people that claim, well, we can do pickleball courts now. And it's like, yeah, is it easy really just to slap the material down? Yeah, it is. And, are there some things you got to know? Yeah, there are. And that's what's going to determine the ultimate finish when the job's done. But my point is, when those people start to think that now they're capable of doing extensive repairs on something like this, you get into this right here, you can't, or you shouldn't be this section right here, how it's getting all tight. This area right here, rather than chase and fill all these cracks and put membranes over the cracks themselves, this area right here is almost a candidate for a fiberglass mat system. Just cover this whole area, because there's some drainage issues going on. It's always on the side of the elevation. These elevated courts always have problems with drainage like this. You can almost see the water's going under the court. It's moving towards that corner. And the same thing at the college I was just at. They were elevated, and on their slope side it looked exactly the same way. So look, as you're out there and you're looking for a contractor to hire, it's very easy to get swooped up in, ooh, this guy's got a great price. This is not a cheap process in any way whatsoever. So you should not be looking for the cheapest guy to do this job. There are people that are out there, myself included, that could make this look amazing for half of what it normally would be. And I can get it to last 1-2 years, definitely get myself through the warranty phase, and then it starts to fall apart again. And what did I do? Well, I lost a customer because you'll never hire me again. But I was able to get your money. You might not ever hire me again until you're desperate, or until your athletic director changes and hires me again without knowing the history in the past, So, you don't want to get set up with a company who's just trying to make it work best for everybody, right? Because the corners that they're cutting to save the money, to make the estimate look more appealing to you, to get your business or to get you to hire them, those are the corners that those corners that are getting cut are the corners that matter. Those are the corners that are going to hold the longevity of this thing together. I had a guy read me his estimate from another company the other day, and it said pressure wash areas of heavy with heavy mildew or something. And I said, they're not going to wash the whole court? And he said, no, they said they only got to wash over by the stone wall because that's the part that's in the shadow, and that's where the mildew is starting to form. And I said, no, you have to wash the whole fucking court. This is a 6-court system. You know what it means? The fact that they don't have to wash all 6 courts, it means they save like 2 or 3 days, which also means that they can, make their estimate a lot cheaper because they're not doing the fucking work. They're not doing all the work. God, if it, damn it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's tough competing sometimes. I mean, that's why I really don't compete. I just try to, put my name out there. This is the type of work that I do. You won't hire me this time, but you'll definitely hire me next time. And you'll understand what I was talking about in a couple of years. And I will say that I have some local companies who've had to kind of change up the way that they do things, because I rain right on their parade. I go right to the customer and I tell them, well, I'm in this area. I'm probably going to be competing with this company and that company. And let me tell you the things that they do wrong. And let me tell you what to watch out for when you're getting your estimate. Things that they might say to you that don't sound right. If you hear, I don't need to wash the entire court, run from that person as fast as possible. If you hear, I don't need to use a membrane repair on the cracks, oh, that's just a way to upsell you. Run for the hills. Run for the hills. I'm all about building relationships that are going to last into the future. I want to be the last guy that you hire for your courts. And it's not because I'm the cheapest. It's because, Ryan does good work. Ryan's honest. If there's a problem, Ryan will fix it. He won't make excuses. He won't ask for more money. I build relationships here, people. Not just cash checks. All right? So those are my 2 cents as I walk around in the frickin' rain, measuring up these courts, thinking of the other shitheads that are out there measuring courts right now and the bullshit they're going to pass off to these customers. I'm fired up, people. But I'll tell you, I was just over at a state college, and I'm listening to what they're telling me, that the people that come out there and look at these courts are telling them, and I just want to fucking fall over. And I'm like, listen, this is probably 100, with all the things that are wrong and the fixing that it needs to do everything right. You're at a 80,000 maybe 100, depending on, So, it's like, this is prevailing wage work too. So, you gotta pay your guys, which means you gotta charge a lot to do it. So if you've got a job that, if it's done right, should be $80,000, and you got some knucklehead who's claiming that he can go in there, he can measure up the job, and he can do the same job for $60,000, then they're just going to fucking hire that guy. They're not going to care what corners he cuts. All they care about is, goddamn, we're going to save $60,000 or $20,000, I mean, or even more. Who knows? You know, and they'll sell them, they'll sell them a bunch of bullshit, and they're a municipality, so they have to eat it. You know. But yeah, I get frustrated because I know that there are people out there that are just all about the check, and I'm not all about the check. You know, like I said, I'm about building relationships, not about cashing checks. So that's going to be the motto of the day. I'm going to go back to being wet and freezing my beanbag off while I measure up this stuff, and you go back to whatever it is you're doing. All right, get the kids to bed or get back to work. I don't know what you do in your life, but go do it.